Hey guys, what's going on? It's Donovan of Schmick Squadron, and uh, about a year ago, roughly, I made a video about the 10 decks that I really hate in Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2016. Well, now that we're in 2017, I decided to actually, tackle this subject again with the top 10 decks that I hate in 2017. Now, these are, of course, these are mainly the decks that I played throughout 2017 against in 2017, as well as very late 2016, since I made my last video and my nose looks very crooked because it is crooked. Uh, wrote down on my list here, and I tried to actually record this video earlier in the week. I actually had Seth and Josh with me when I recorded that video. And I only talked about 5 decks in that video, and since I made that video, I realized, there's a bunch of other decks that I just fucking hate. So I'll just redo it. So, Seth, Josh, if you're watching this, please don't be mad at me that we wasted all that time recording that video. It wasn't that long. It's probably like 10 minutes. But anyway, let's get started. So the first deck that I have written down here in my little notepad over here, I have Chainburn, and this is a deck that I never really faced that often until like Zodiac got really popular, because apparently it had such a really good matchup against Zodiac. But it's just like one of those decks I hate for the simple fact that the type of deck it is. It's not that it's burn, but it's more like it's not really Yu-Gi-Oh. It's more like a solitaire deck, and I just absolutely hate solitaire decks. I feel like when I play Yu-Gi-Oh and I sit across the table and I look at my opponent, I expect to play Yu-Gi-Oh. But apparently my opponent doesn't think that when he's playing Chainburn. Or the next deck that I'm going to mention, Exodia. I hate Exodia so much. I hate Exodia more than Chainburn, especially because sometimes if Exodia goes off, with like Royal Magical Library or whatever the fuck it's called, I won't get a turn sometimes. And that's just so stupid. Like, the Exodia literally is the definition. It's the little face of a solitaire deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's not healthy. I really wish that, despite the fact it's a very old nostalgia anime card from back in the day, I love my old anime cards. Don't get me wrong, but Exodia is just, it's not my favorite. It's not my cup of tea. Next deck, 60 card Infernoids. Just 60 card decks in general, but I'll point out Infernoid, just to be more specific, because there's a couple reasons why I hate this deck. First of all, Infernoids, they're kind of annoying for me to face because they always have that, tribute, negate, banish effect, and that it's just, it's a weird deck, in concept, because they can't be normal summoned outside of Decatron. So they have to rely on going to like the graveyard or having copies in their hand to special summon. So when a card like That Grass Looks Greener came out, all of a sudden the deck that really didn't top since Reasoning went to 1, or at least not as often as it used to, now it's like the best deck in the game. Some would argue that. And that's all because of That Grass Looks Greener. And there used to be a charm to a deck that ran more than like 45, 50 cards or greater. If they had that in their main deck, it was like, something that was like an eye-opener. It was like, wow, this is not common. I don't usually see this. Does the deck function well? All this and that. But now, because of That Grass Looks Greener, now you kind of see 60 card decks everywhere. And it is annoying to face Infernoids because they always seem to get That Grass Looks Greener. They always seem to do so. Granted, cards like Left Arm Offering and some draw power cards make it a little easier to get a hold of That Grass Looks Greener, but still, I just feel like it goes off a little too often. a little too often for my taste. Um, and then of course I just have to mention Fairy Tale Snow, and I fucking hate that card. Next deck, Cosmo. Oh man, if you saw my last video when I did this, 10 decks that I hate, you know how much I fucking hate Cosmo. Everyone at my locals would play Cosmo, and it was just such an annoying deck. Cody, when he was, still playing Yu-Gi-Oh, he would play Cosmo. Granted, he played it before he even knew it was like the best deck in the game. He just heard that it was Star Wars and he was automatically hooked. And what I hate the most about Cosmo is that the big ships can't be targeted. The little pilots can tag out like during either player's turn, and Dark Destroyer at 3. Oh my god, I still have like Vietnam flashbacks of Dark Destroyer being at 3, and it's not fun. And of course, Cosmo got E-Telly put to 1, and that really hurt my Fam Night deck, and I was really sad. Since then, now they have to rely on cards like, what's it called? The artifacts, which I'm not a big fan of artifacts. But yeah, I still hate Cosmo. And speaking of TCG exclusive archetypes, Kaijus. That's another archetype that I really just can't. I just really can't stand. I really hate that deck. And the only reason why I hate Kaijus as a pure deck is because of Seth. Seth really loves Kaijus. And to his credit, he did have a way to make, a playable Kaiju deck, with just like the Kaijus and then a couple other really cool techs here and there before he picked up Cyber Dragons and threw them into the Kaiju deck. But I just really hate the fact that I'll set up a board with this really powerful monster and it just gets Kaiju'd. It gets tributed for a Kaiju, and it's just so annoying. It's happened to everyone, and everyone gets a little upset. Maybe not mad, but just at least upset that damn it, a Gamma Seal. So, yeah, and also, Interrupted Kaiju Slumber is a very stupid card. A Dark Hole that special summons, like, what the hell? Paleozoics, oh my god. I actually, it's funny. Seth mentioned in a video that we recorded that didn't get uploaded, the last one I tried to record, he mentioned how he hates Paleo. But he loves to play Paleo, but he doesn't like facing Paleo. And I say it's funny because I actually had to play against Paleo at one point at my locals back before there was like a ruling change on how they worked. Because how they work now is that if you activate a trap and if you had 2 Paleozoics engraved, you can only special summon one of the Paleozoics. However, when they first came out, if you activated a trap and you had like 3 Paleozoics in your graveyard, you could summon all 3 of them. And to each his own, I didn't know that's how they work. My opponent didn't know that's not how they work. So I had to face the deck when it was like that, and God, that was just the worst experience I've ever had to face. Granted, that was the only time I played against Paleozoic when it was like that. This was long before Totally Awesome and Morella, or not Morella, what's the XZ? It's the Opalbinia. That was before Invasion of Vengeance came out, so you only had like the basic ones. And it was just annoying. And the deck now is still very annoying. They just keep staying in the meta. And until Konami hits like Swap Frog or Totally Awesome or any of the trap cards, the deck will still be relevant no matter what. Yeah, you could say, but when because of True Dracos, they're not going to be as popular. Well, true. That's true. But once True Dracos leave, we found out Link monsters can be summoned through trap monsters. Paleozoics will eventually find a way to come back if they don't hit the deck like on the next ban list. So, next up, Magispectors. Similar to how Seth felt about the Paleos. He likes playing it, doesn't like facing it. That's kind of how I feel about the Magispectors. I never really played them that often. I only played it for like a couple times here and there when I was with Josh and he had his Magispectors. I thought about building a deck, at one point, but the thing I really hate about the Magispectors is just that they can't be targeted and they can't be destroyed by card effects. So the only really way you can destroy them is with non-targeting removal, which not every deck can do, and destroy by battle. And that's actually pretty hard because they have cards like Magispector Tornado and all these mirror forces that they play. What's the spell card that boosts their attack? I think it's Sonics or something. It's just it's a deck that's really difficult to play against sometimes, and yeah, you can just summon a big monster and they can't get over it, but still, that's a tough deck for me anyway to face. And Magispector Unicorn Kieran, thank God it is banned, which is odd because pure Magispectors didn't really even play Kieran, but it was still a problematic card. Cyber Dragons. That's the next deck I really don't like. And I'll just say it. I played ABC. I don't really need to say anything else. But I'm going to. I don't like how Cyber Dragons, they're kind of like their play style is very jerkish. They especially since they started using the light machine kaiju. I think it's Jizukiru. I think that's the name. But, yeah, the kaiju. Once they started playing some of the kaijus, and then it's funny because it's a somewhat fusion-based deck that's very aggressive and likes to go second, and it's an OTK base, and you would think, because I play Fluffles, that's the kind of deck I would gravitate towards. And in some ways, I do like playing the Cyber Dragons just a little bit, but when I played ABC, they were like everywhere, and it was just not fun. And then the last two decks kind of go hand in hand in some form or another. The first deck is Raid Raptors because of Ultimate Falcon. I fucking hate Ultimate Falcon. I hate cards that say they're unaffected by card effects. Like, to me, that is just the most unfair type of card in the game. Cards that are like, oh, I'm unaffected. You can't, Raigeki me. You can't, respond, you can try responding with like a monster effect, but it ain't gonna do shit. You can't do all this stuff, because I'm unaffected. Ha 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 ha. You lose. And I wouldn't be so mad at Raid Raptors if Ultimate Falcon wasn't so easy to get out. Sometimes it's just super easy for that deck to get out. Ultimate Falcon is just, I really just want to scoop at that point. It's just that annoying. And then the other deck that kind of goes along with them is True Dracos because of Masterpiece. It is a towers that can destroy cards. And it's just... and to be honest, I also don't like True Dracos just as an archetype in general, because I hate the fact that, they utilize these cards like Card of Demise, Pot of Desires, Pot of Duality, all these draw cards, all these continuous spell and trap cards. They just abuse all of these cards, and Trigonic Diagram is $90, and I needed that for my dinosaur deck. And now I can't get it right now because YCS Pittsburgh's coming up, which shot up the price of diagrams, and then the short printed the secret rares. And, and the deck is just all like... And that's another thing. Almost all the cards in True Dracos are like ultra rares and secrets. Like, what the fuck is that? I know that Zodiacs were pretty, high rarity as well, with cards like Dryden, Barrage, Broad Bull being secret, Tiger Mortar, Thoroughblade, and Shockanine, the newest one, being ultra rares. But still, you had Combo was a common, Rapier and Whiptail were supers, and they were easy to get supers, and Rapier is arguably the most important card of the deck. And I just why? Why did they rarity bump this shit? That kind of shit pisses me off, and that deserves a video on its own. But yeah, True Dracos, because of Masterpiece, when I first found out about Masterpiece, you know, I automatically hated the deck. So I'm just going to end the video right here. I'm out about 16 minutes in. I hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like, comment what decks you hate, because I certainly will be interested in hearing what you have to say in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching. Share the video, like the video, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully soon. See you guys.